Leo is not something I expected it to be. In fact, I don't think that most of you would have been able to predict any of those twists in the story even before a minute of that twist. So, in a way, it was all unexpected. But then most Lokesh Kanagaraj films have that quality. Still, this stands out from his entire filmography and even in the bunch of recent commercial films because it talks about so many important things. Hello Cinefam and welcome to my review of Leo. Before I say anything about the film, let me make it very clear that I am a person who has got a ravenous appetite for every kind of cinema that exists except for action movies because I felt for the longest time that most of them are female phobic if not misogynistic, plus there's hardly an action film that will stay with you for long. Basically, I despised them in the past, even recently, for being a source of momentary pleasure with unbelievably pulled stunts. But movies like Leo have been monumental in changing my POV regarding that. Also, I can assure you that I'm not a Vijay fan, so if I'm praising him in this video, then he must have done something to get praised like that. Now, the audience needs to accept the fact that when they expect a film to be a certain way and it turns out to be some other way, then it can go in both ways, negative or even positive. Just because a film is not that loud or boisterous in its approach doesn't mean we question its entertainment quotient or show rigidity to accept what the film's got right. Now, Leo disaster is trending on Twitter, so let's see if the flaws make it really that dangerous a disaster or the disaster management plans have worked in favor of it. Flaw number one in Leo for me was too much action in the second half. I don't know what has been censored. I mean, obviously, the action must have been too gore for the board, so maybe some of it has been censored, and I think it really worked in its favor. Now, violence on screen is often an adrenaline rush for many, but I don't know if it's just me or anybody else also felt like the fighting sequences were unnecessarily dragging. I got irritated with so many people looking at their phones during those fights. So I'm imagining that it must have been tiringly long for them too. Another shortcoming in Leo would be the scanty screen time bestowed upon Madonna Sebastian. She plays an important character for which we undoubtedly felt, but the impact needed to be bigger. And in order to be the sacrifice being more impactful, the character build up should have been that strong. Such a brilliant actress, but no scope was there for her. After Agent Tina, I was really excited to see the treatment towards female characters in Lokiverse, but Elisa was such a letdown. By the way, this is an unpopular opinion, but the flashback sequence actually worked for me, except for the Eliza part. Also, Sandy's character was damn scary. The whole cafe scene was so tense, mostly because of his presence, but obviously he was sent off too soon without really making something out of all that menace. Another letdown was the Hindi dubbing. I mean, I highly doubt that those dialogues would have actually meant what we heard. Looked like there has been some hodgepodge in the dubbing department, and yeah, the usual tradition of butchering some of the best South Indian songs while dubbing in Hindi has been nurtured by making me absolutely hate the Na Reddy song. Now, as I've brought up the music already, then let's move on to the good in Leo 2, starting with the sound design by Anirudh. I'm not going to compare Vikram, Kathy, and Leo in terms of sound design because what I felt was that this certain type of styling completely worked for Leo, and these villain kaun hai, hero kaun hai, I'm scared, and Leo Das is a badass. All these OSTs are etched forever in my mind. Moreover, the climax action scene was watchable despite being a drag, simply because of the eagle eye view shots and the chest thumping music. Manoj Paramahansa's cinematography has been extremely interesting throughout. Similarly, I can't help but only praise how fine the technical department's work was. The hyena sequence looked damn convincing, plus the bike chasing was a whole lot of fun to watch. What they have achieved together technically just looks like a big win to me. Another thing that I loved was how Leo is a grey character who only cares about his family and has apparent reason to do so. Doesn't matter if he has to do any wrong to achieve that goal. There's also a certain psychological depth about Vijay's character, which even talks a lot about PTSD. Not gonna spoil it for you, but this psychological angle is something that gave the film an edge, and for that, I will rank Leo a notch higher in any hierarchy. Last but not the least, Vijay. If not for anything else, you've got to watch Leo for this man who gave this film his all. It's also the effortless writing of this double shaded character who's a bit of a genius, and the way Vijay pulls it off, man, this is undoubtedly his career best. So, with the top notch direction by Lokesh, balancing act by Vijay, fine cinematography, and the remarkable music, Leo gave me a great time. Apart from Vijay, I really liked Arjun Sarja's Harold, and he had that rustic yet stylish impact. With Sanjay Dutt, things never translated well because it's essentially an extended cameo only. There's not much of him to look back on. Trisha was good in her limited time. She and Vijay have that organic chemistry as ever. But there was no apparent reason as to what was the purpose of Priyanand's character. But yeah, if you are a hooter like me at celebrity cameos, then Leo might just be the right watch for you. It's a riveting film, and I know that now people are just busy over dwelling on its flaws, but sooner or later, people are bound to realize how a mainstream film didn't just cater to masses but made itself remarkable with some gutsy inclusions and sheer logic. So, this was my review of Leo, which I'm definitely watching again in Tamil whenever it's out in OTT. And you let me know what do you feel about the film. Also, here's my username on X. You can check out my account for all things filmy and keep watching my videos which I make out of only love and more love for cinema. And for now, thanks to each one of you for watching.